Let me just first ask you about this move. Your new plans are going to compress margins, at least in the short to medium term, and that has some analysts concerned. Will they bounce back to the levels that the street wants to see?
Well, look, we're going to capitalize on our strengths, which are primarily strong products, our financial strength, and also the talent that we have in our company. And we're going to invest into taking our company to profitable, sustainable growth. And I think that requires the investment that we're putting behind our strategy, Helix. The strategy is very simply to take it to a sustainable, profitable growth company, which is a combination of good margins and a growth rate. So yes, indeed, the margins are to be back in the midterm.
When will we see, if I look at the GF function on the Bloomberg terminal, I can graph a couple fundamentals of your company. Here I'm looking at, in blue, earnings per share. In brown, we see sales. Over the past decade, this goes back to 2000, you've come down a little bit. When are we going to see these numbers get up to and higher than the 2010 highs?
Well, look, we're operating in a market which is, digital transformation is really critical for all the organizations today. Every organization that wants to capitalize on their data and offer more services or better services to customers have got to undertake this digital transformation. So that demand is growing, and I intend to capitalize on that demand and get our fair share out of that demand. So, for 2019, we have a clear, ambitious plan to grow our sales, and that we will see that happening through the midterm period and our shift to the subscription model in 2020.
Good morning to you, Sanjay. Let me ask you about Internet of Things then, as this is part of your strategy. Are you concerned about regulation in this area? Because we're going to have a conversation shortly with a professor who's written a book that suspects we're going to see a lot more regulation of the tech sector generally. But Internet of Things could fall into that camp. Is that something that you are factoring into your plans?
Well, look, first of all, technology and innovation is always ahead, and then regulation catches up, as we can see now. I think companies like us, we are very conscious about two things. We're very conscious about privacy, and data security. And these things have to be by design. They can't be an afterthought. So that's the first thing. And then, GDPR is already there in Europe. We have to be very conscious about how we comply and how we make sure that our customers are comfortable about how their data is treated. So, we are the custodians of the data. We do not own or, use their data without their permission. So we need to be transparent. We need to be very clear how we manage this data.
Okay.
I wonder, Internet of Things is a central theme in your new growth strategy, and you've got money to make purchases. I'm sure your growth isn't all going to be organic, right? What kind of companies will you be looking to pick up?
Well, look, first and foremost, Helix is based on an organic growth plan. So that's very clear. That's how we want to drive our company to profitable growth. But we will look to accelerate this, and clearly mergers and acquisitions. And, look, I believe in all three options: build, buy, or partner. And so we will leverage all three options. If you look at our capabilities, we are very strong in integration of applications, very strong in integration of clouds, very strong in integration of devices. It's actually the integration of data that we are strengthening our capabilities. So I will be looking at areas such as IoT, analytics, integration of data. Those are the spaces we will be looking at.